Hey everyone, imagine like cruising down the highway, hands-free, your car just kind of like navigating traffic all on its own.
That's like total luxury, right?
Right. Well, BYD, build your dreams.
Yeah.
Huge player in the EV market. Already like giving Tesla a run for its money, they're aiming to make that kind of tech like the new normal.
Yeah, advanced driver assistance systems.
Exactly, ADs.
And it's a bold move. It really has the potential to shake things up.
For sure. For sure. Okay, so let's rewind to February 10th, 2025. The scene is BYD's headquarters in Shenzhen, China. Their founder, Wang Chuanfu, takes the stage, unveils God's Eye, BYD's very own ADs.
Pretty cool name.
Right, but here's the thing. It's not just for, their super expensive models.
Yeah, we're talking cars, starting around $13,688 US.
And even some cheaper ones, like the Seagull.
Which is a steal at $9,555.
I know, it's crazy.
To put that in perspective, some of those luxury cars with similar features can cost like 5 times as much.
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame.
Total game changer.
So walk me through this God's Eye tech. What can it actually do?
So God's Eye allows your car to do some pretty impressive stuff, like autonomously navigating highways.
Whoa. So the car is actually...
Yeah, the car's handling the steering, acceleration, braking, all while you're still behind the wheel, of course, supervising the system.
Right.
It can also park itself remotely using your smartphone.
No way.
Yeah, and even autonomously overtake slower vehicles when it's safe to do so.
That's wild, especially for people who hate parallel parking.
Right.
So what's the driving force behind BYD making such a bold move? They were already selling a ton of UVs.
Yeah, they hit a record 4 million units sold last year. But after that, growth started to kind of plateau.
Okay.
This push into affordable ADAS is definitely a strategic move to reignite that growth and capture a bigger slice of the market.
So they're not messing around.
No, they're not.
But I'm curious, is this just about outmaneuvering the competition? Or is there something more to it?
I think there's definitely a bigger picture here. BYD's founder, Wang Chuanfu, has talked about creating this flywheel effect. He believes that as more people use God's Eye and similar smart driving features, BYD will be able to gather more data, which will in turn lead to even faster innovation and development.
So the more people use it, the better it gets.
Exactly.
And the cycle continues. But how does that play into the whole AI aspect of this?
Yeah, because God's Eye has to be pretty sophisticated to do all that stuff.
For sure.
AI is a critical piece of the puzzle here. And BYD isn't going it alone. They've partnered with a Chinese AI startup called DeepSeek, which is known for developing some seriously impressive AI models.
At a fraction of the cost of those big Western tech companies.
Yeah.
And why is that so important? How does that impact the development of God's Eye?
Well, DeepSeek's expertise could allow BYD to add even more sophisticated features to God's Eye without driving up the cost. We're talking about things like advanced voice commands that actually understand what you're saying.
Wow.
And can even anticipate your needs while driving. Imagine telling your car, hey, I'm feeling stressed. It's just lighting music. Maybe even suggests a scenic route to help you chill out.
Whoa, that's next level.
Right.
Okay, so we've got this incredibly advanced yet affordable ADS system hitting the market. It's powered by cutting-edge AI. And it's all part of BYD's plan to shake up the EV landscape. What does this mean for everyone else? How are Tesla and other big EV players reacting to all of this?
I think it's safe to say that BYD has really kind of thrown down the gauntlet here.
Yeah.
This move puts immense pressure on other EV makers.
Not just Tesla.
Not just Tesla companies like XPeng, even like established giants like Stellantis.
Yeah.
They're all going to have to figure out how to compete in a world where these advanced ADS features aren't like a premium add-on, but an expectation even in more affordable vehicles.
So are we talking like a potential price war here?
Yeah.
Could this drive down the cost of EVs across the board?
It's definitely a possibility. BYD's aggressive pricing strategy could force others to follow suit if they want to stay competitive, which could be great news for consumers.
Yeah.
Could lead to more affordable EVs with more advanced features.
Right.
But it also raises questions about profit margins.
Yeah, but sure.
Long-term sustainability for some of these companies.
It sounds like BYD is really banking on its scale and efficiency to pull this off.
Yeah.
But it's not just about pricing right. This whole move seems to be about more than just selling cars. It's about shifting the whole perception of what's possible in the EV market.
Exactly. And this shift could have a ripple effect far beyond China.
Okay.
Remember, China is the world's largest car market.
Right.
If self-driving features become like the norm in affordable cars there, it sets a new standard for the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Think about the potential impact on global safety traffic congestion. Even accessibility for people who are currently unable to drive themselves.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can see how this could be a real game changer. But let's be real.
Right.
Self-driving tech is still in its early stages.
Yeah, for sure.
There are a lot of questions about safety regulations,
Yeah.
even ethical implications.
Absolutely. There are still hurdles to overcome, and those concerns need to be addressed.
Of course.
But the point is that BYD's move is accelerating the conversation, pushing the entire industry forward.
Yeah.
It's forcing everyone to think about the future of transportation and how we're going to integrate this technology into our lives.
That makes sense. It's like BYD is saying, hey, world, this is happening, whether you're ready or not.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears for a second and talk about the role of AI in all of this. We touched on BYD's partnership with DeepSeek earlier, but I'm curious to know more about how their AI models differ from those developed by Western tech giants.
Well, one key difference is DeepSeek's focus on developing AI that's specifically tailored for the Chinese market.
Okay.
They take into account things like local driving habits, road conditions, even cultural nuances.
Interesting.
This allows them to create AI that's arguably more effective in navigating the complexities of Chinese roads.
So it's not just about replicating Western AI. It's about creating something that's uniquely suited to the Chinese context.
Exactly.
That's interesting. But how does that translate into tangible benefits for God's Eye?
Well, for one thing, it means God's Eye is potentially better equipped to handle the unique challenges of driving in China,
Okay.
like navigating crowded city streets or dealing with unpredictable traffic patterns.
Makes sense.
It also means that BYD can offer these advanced features at a lower cost, which is crucial for their strategy of democratizing AI.
Okay. So we've got BYD shaking things up with affordable ADAS powered by AI that's specifically designed for the Chinese market.
Yeah.
They're betting big on the idea that this will not only boost their sales, but also position them as a global leader in intelligent vehicle technology.
It's a big bet.
But I have to ask, what happens to the traditional car industry if this all plays out the way BYD envisions it?
That's a great question. And it's one that a lot of people are grappling with right now. The traditional auto industry is facing unprecedented disruption.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We're talking about potential job losses, shifts in manufacturing, maybe even the emergence of entirely new industries as self-driving technology matures.
That sounds like a pretty dramatic shift. I mean, we're not just talking about a new type of car here. We're talking about a fundamental change in how we think about transportation.
Absolutely. And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
BYD's move isn't just about selling more cars. It's about changing the conversation.
Interesting.
It's about forcing us to confront the future of mobility and all the potential implications that come with it.
So it's like they're saying, hey, the future is here, and it's time to start thinking about what that means for all of us.
Exactly. And it's not just about the technology itself. It's about the social, economic, even political ramifications of this kind of shift.
So we're talking about things like...
We're talking about things like urban planning, infrastructure development, even the role of government in regulating this new era of transportation.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about BYD's ambitious move to make ADAS more affordable, the role of AI in making that happen, the potential impact on the global auto industry, and even the broader societal implications of widespread self-driving technology.
It's a lot to process.
It is, but let's bring it back to our listeners for a minute. This is all pretty mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah.
But how does it actually affect the everyday driver?
That's a great point. We've been talking about big picture trends, but at the end of the day, this technology is going to impact people's lives in very real ways.
I'm curious about that too.
Let's think about how God's Eye and similar ADAS features could change the way we commute, take road trips, and even just interact with our cars.
Yeah, we've all seen the futuristic movies where cars drive themselves.
Right.
But what does that actually look like in the real world? What does it mean for someone who spends hours stuck in traffic every day?
Imagine this. You're on your daily commute.
Okay.
But instead of gripping the steering wheel,
Yeah.
stressing out about traffic, you're sitting back, relaxing, maybe even catching up on some emails or reading a book. Your car is handling all the driving, navigating traffic seamlessly, and keeping you safe. That's the kind of experience ADAS can offer.
Okay, that does sound pretty appealing, especially on those Monday mornings.
Right.
But what about those of us who actually enjoy driving? I mean, will self-driving cars take away the thrill of the open road?
That's a great question. And it's one that a lot of car enthusiasts are thinking about. I don't think self-driving cars are going to eliminate the joy of driving altogether. There will always be people who crave the control and the connection that comes with driving themselves.
For sure.
But for those who view driving as a chore or who are unable to drive themselves due to age or disability, this technology could be life-changing.
Absolutely. I didn't think about that.
And that's another important aspect of this whole conversation. Self-driving technology has the potential to make transportation more accessible and inclusive.
That's a really good point.
It could give people who have never been able to experience the freedom of driving the opportunity to do so. And it could free up time and energy for everyone, allowing us to focus on other things while we're on the road.
So we're not just talking about a new type of car. We're talking about a potential shift in our relationship with transportation as a whole.
Precisely. And that's what makes BYD's move so significant.
It's a big deal.
They're not just pushing the boundaries of technology.
Right.
They're challenging us to rethink the way we move through the world.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
It's not just about getting from point A to point B.
Yeah.
It's about how we experience that journey
Yeah.
and what it means for our lives.
Yeah.
Before we get too carried away with the possibilities, let's bring it back to the here and now.
Yeah.
What are some of the immediate challenges facing BYD as they try to make this vision a reality?
Well, I think for starters, they're going to have to convince people that God's Eye is safe
Right.
and reliable.
For sure.
Consumer trust is going to be crucial.
Especially when we're talking about like technology that's literally taking the wheel.
Exactly. People need to feel confident that their car can handle all the complexities of driving without putting them at risk.
So safety is paramount.
Yeah.
What about regulations? I mean, governments around the world are still grappling with how to regulate self-driving technology.
Yeah, you're right. This is a rapidly evolving field, and regulations are struggling to keep pace. BYD is going to have to navigate a complex web of rules and requirements.
Which can vary significantly from country to country.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of uncertainty there.
Yeah.
And potential roadblocks along the way.
There are, but BYD is known for being a pretty agile company.
Yeah, they've always been pretty good at adapting.
They've adapted to changing market conditions before.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll find a way to navigate these regulatory challenges.
Let's hope so. Because if they can pull this off,
Yeah,
it could have a massive impact on the global automotive landscape.
it could indeed. Imagine a world where affordable, safe, and reliable self-driving cars are commonplace.
I mean, that would be a game changer.
That would be a game changer.
No more traffic jams, no more road rage, maybe even fewer accidents.
It's a tantalizing vision.
It is.
And BYD is one of the companies leading the charge toward that future.
But let's not forget about the competition. Tesla isn't going to banner. Just sit back and watch BYD eat their lunch.
Of course not. Tesla is a formidable competitor.
Yeah.
And they've got their own ambitious plans for self-driving technology.
So we're likely to see a fierce battle for dominance in this space,
Oh, yeah.
which could ultimately benefit consumers.
Exactly. Competition drives innovation.
It always does.
And that's good news for everyone.
Okay, so we've got BYD making waves,
Yeah.
Tesla fighting back, and the entire automotive industry on the brink of a major transformation.
We have.
It's a lot.
And it's all happening at breakneck speed.
It's crazy how fast this is all happening.
It's an exciting time to be following this industry.
It certainly is, but amidst all this excitement,
Yeah.
it's important to remember that this technology is still in its early stages.
We're still figuring things out.
For sure.
And there are bound to be bumps along the road.
So it's crucial to approach this with a healthy dose of caution,
Yeah.
as well as a sense of wonder.
I agree. We need to be both optimistic about the potential benefits
Yeah.
and realistic about the challenges ahead.
That's a great point. So where does all of this leave us? What's the takeaway for our listeners?
I think the key takeaway is that the future of transportation is being written right now.
That's a great way to put it.
And BYD is one of the authors.
Pushing the boundaries, challenging the status quo, and forcing us to rethink what's possible.
And that's something worth paying attention to.
Yeah, sure.
Whether you're a car enthusiast, a tech geek, or just someone who's curious about what the future holds.
I think that's a perfect note to end on BYD's move to democratize self-driving technology is a bold and ambitious gamble.
It is, and the outcome is far from certain.
But one thing's for sure, it's going to be a fascinating ride.
So buckle up
Yeah.
and enjoy the journey.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Until then, keep exploring.